Hi everybody, I'm Claire. This is my vlog, Loves Red Sews. I am in the car, as you can see. I'm actually just waiting to get to a petrol pump. I am on my way to pick up my mum, and then we are off to my sister's today because it's her 40th birthday this weekend. So I'm wearing my Anna Allen Anthea Blouse. We're actually taking her out shopping today, so ready to wear shopping. She doesn't get a chance to sort of treat herself very often, so we're treating her today. So we're going to have some nice lunch out and take her shopping. So I'm just heading off there. I shall be back with you later when I get back, and I will be sharing my what I've been up to this week sewing wise, what I've been making and what my plans are. So I shall catch up with you again later, and I hope you have a good day. Bye for now. Hi everybody, so I am now back in my sewing room after a full day out today, shopping with my mum and my sister. So you'll be pleased to know I didn't really buy anything. I just bought myself one little thing, and that is a jumper for the sort of autumn winter, and it will be quite nice for sort of work, but that is it. I tried on a few bits and pieces, but to be honest, the day was really for my sister. She had money from everybody to spend, and she did really well and got herself quite a few new bits and pieces, which is really nice. She doesn't really get a chance to do that sort of thing very often. She's got a family, children, so a lot of her sort of funds go on her kids quite a lot. So it was really nice for her to sort of have the day to herself and treat herself to a few things. So that's what it was all about really. So that was really nice. So yeah, I'm quite tired now. I did all the driving today, and there was a lot of walking in between all the shops. We were in one area, it was kind of like a shopping area. Oh, I've got Ralph just come down here to say hello, so I don't know whether oh, there he is, just popping in to the video to say hello to everybody. He's saying hello, Ralphie. He was very excited when I got back, so I haven't been back that long actually. So I pulled up and my husband was in the garage getting his golf stuff together, and he literally put his golf clubs in the car and has driven off. He wanted to do a quick little round on the golf course before it gets too dark. So he's gone off, and I am now home obviously, and I'm going to sort of have a little bit of a chill, to be honest. So I'm quite tired. We've done lots of walking. My feet are quite painful. And that's not because I was wearing uncomfortable shoes. I think I've just got my feet are just painful from all the walking, to be honest. So anyway, that's not what you're here for. So I will crack on with some sewing content. So I've got a little bit to share with you this week. I've been making a few things, and I've had a few things finished. And I've got a few plans, so I'm going to share all of that with you. Before I start, I'll just share what I'm wearing. So today I have got on my Anna Allen Anthea blouse, and this is in the Bornella fabrics that I bought a while back from the Stitch Festival, not last year, maybe the year before actually. So I'll quickly stand up. I don't want to wheel my chair back on Ralph. But yeah, I've just got it on with some ready to wear sort of jeans, sort of kick flare jeans, but it's a nice bright sort of top. And actually I did get a comment on this today, which was really nice. So I was in Next, which is just a high street store, and my sister was kind of picking some bits and looking at a few bits and pieces, and one of the sales assistants walked past and she said to me, "Oh, I really love your top, where did you get it from?" And I said, "Oh, I made it." So and we had a little bit of a chat, and she couldn't believe that I'd made it. So I think she was in awe of that, and she actually said to me, "So where do we go to to purchase these items?" So I had to explain that I only sew for myself. But yeah, that was really nice to sort of to sort of be approached like that. I haven't had that much, so it's really nice when you can actually say that you made it yourself. Now Ralph is just barking, so I think he might want to go out, so I'm just going to pop and sort him out, and then I shall be back to set. Okay, so Ralph is all sorted now, and I am back with you. So yeah, what have I been up to this week? So I talked last week about a few things that I was kind of in the middle of. in progress with, and a couple of those things have been finished, so I'm going to share those with you now. So the first thing is the Simi skirt by Tammy Handmade. This is a mini skirt. It doesn't have a waistband as such, it just has a face-in, so it's really nice and kind of neat on the waist, and then you can finish it with buttons or poppers. This is my second version and I have finished this with poppers. So this is my version here. So it's a lovely little mini skirt. It has these little pockets at the front, which to be honest, I don't think they'll be that practical for use, but they're just there, kind of there for show, I guess. And yeah, it's a really nice kind of length on me. Being petite, it kind of sits a little bit above my knee, and I think this is going to be great when I go on holiday. So I've got a couple of kind of t-shirts that I can pair with this. And yeah, I think it's going to be a nice little staple for my holiday. I did have some issues with the poppers on this, which it was a little bit disappointing, but I don't know whether it's a problem with the poppers themselves that I used. Well, these are actually kind of snaps. So I use my green machine to attach the snaps, and I use these kind of nice matte black ones, which I think go really well with the skirt. And they're a beautiful sort of just a completely flat kind of matte black. And if I open one out and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. So that's it on the back, and they just kind of popper together. It's not going to popper now, is it? There you go. But on the one at the top, for some reason when I was doing that one, I had loads and loads of issues, and I mean, it's not even that thick, this fabric. There is obviously an extra layer at the top, towards the top, because you've got the face in, so I don't know whether it was just being a little bit temperamental, but I actually went through quite a few of these poppers and they just wouldn't kind of close together. So it's the front part and then the bit that's kind of sits behind that, they just wouldn't close together, and I ended up having to throw quite a few of them away, to the point where I actually used up all of the rest of these poppers and I didn't have any more of these, which was a little bit of a disappointment. So I had to go back into my little stash of kind of snaps and poppers, and I ended up putting a slightly different one on the top, which is this. It's still kind of black, but it's a little bit more shiny than these nice matte black ones. But I kind of figured, one, it's at the top and I'm more likely to wear a top that kind of sits over the top of that little bit, so I don't think it will be that noticeable. The other thing that happened, which was really annoying, was because I went through quite a few sort of poppers and snaps, it ended up snagging the fabric and pulling it a little bit, and I ended up with some like white lines here. So you'll see this kind of mark here. I've actually filled this in with a Sharpie pen. Thankfully I had a very similar colour Sharpie in my drawer, so I filled it in with that, so you can see that's what those lines are there. So they look a little bit darker, but I think sort of from a distance and when it's on, I don't think it's that noticeable. And I think this slightly different kind of colour popper, I'll just bring it a bit closer again so you can see the difference. I think it's not going to be that noticeable, and 9 times out of 10 I will have a little top over just covering that top part anyway. So I'm just thankful that it didn't happen further down, because I think it would have been much more noticeable. Because if I do put a little top over the top, the rest of these all match, so I don't think it will be that noticeable. On the back, it's just looks like that. So I've got a couple of little darts, there's no back pockets, and then I put this little label on the outside because I thought it went really well, and it just says "you look amazing," and I thought that was really cute, putting it on the outside of the back. So that's what I did. It kind of matches in quite well, doesn't it? You'll see in the fabric there's a few kind of little faded bits, and also on here there's kind of like different sort of darker and lighter bits, but that is all part of the pattern. So that is how the fabric comes. So I think the fact that that slightly darker there and coloured in, I think it just kind of blends into the whole thing really, and I don't think it's overly noticeable. So I'm actually really pleased I've got that finished. And I do have t-shirts in this orange colour and in the green. I've got a couple of Naya tees. I've just bought some fabric, a very similar colour to this, and obviously I've got black as well. So I've got plenty of tops that will match that skirt. So that's definitely going to come on holiday with me. And then the other thing I've been working on is just up here. So I'm just going to grab that. So I have been working on a hope dress, and I've been making it in this funfetti fabric, which is a fabric from Beyond the Pink Door. So I bought this when I went and visited the shop a few months ago, and I've never made the hope dress before, and I've been wanting to make it for quite a while. So I think I mentioned previously I tried on my mum's, so I knew what size I needed to make, and I knew where I needed to make the adjustments, and to be honest, it's turned out really well. I'm really pleased with it. It's this nice kind of raglan sort of top. I don't know if you can see that. This fabric is quite busy with the print, so it's got these nice sleeves. So the only thing I've got left to do is to gather in the sleeves and then insert some elastic. So they have just got an elastic cuff on them, and then you've got the skirt here, and you've got some nice little sort of side seam pockets here, and then it's quite long at the moment. It's kind of midi length. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it midi length or if I will shorten it a little bit, but I might try it midi length first and see how I feel about it, and then I can always shorten it afterwards if I feel that is too long. On the back it's just got like a little sort of key opening here, and I've just put a little button here which I thought went quite well with some of the colours in, and then inside you've got this facing. I wasn't overly happy with the facing, but it seems to have kind of gone in okay. And then I had this little free label from Hey So Sister, and I thought that went really well because it obviously picks out the blue, but it also picks out this kind of like bright sort of neon yellowy colour as well. So I thought that kind of went quite well with that. So yeah, I'm almost there. So I've just, as I said, I've just got to do the elastic on the sleeves, and then I need to hem it, and that is all done. So I'm looking forward to getting that finished, and then I can take some photos of that. I was hoping to wear this to the conference that I'm going to this week, which I have previously mentioned I'm off to, but unfortunately apparently we are now going to be wearing branded t-shirts on our stand. And obviously that won't go over the top of the dress, so I think I'm going to have to wear just some kind of like black trousers or jeans or something like that, and then I'll have a branded t-shirt. I mean, it does mean I won't have to worry too much about what I'm wearing, but I won't be able to show this dress off, unfortunately, but that's okay because I will, you know, obviously use it for other things, and I will probably take this one on holiday with me as well. So I did actually have a tiny little bit of that fabric left over, and I was thinking, I wonder if I can get an Ashton top out of the remainder of it. I only had a very small piece, but I just managed to squeeze it on, and I actually finished that last night or the night before. So here's my little Ashton top. So I just quickly whipped that up this week. It didn't take too long to come together, and I've done the option with the bias binding. So I used some bias binding that I had in my stash from the Specky seamstress, and then I added this little label which I thought picked out some of these kind of more pinky colours, and that is from Little Rosy Cheeks. And again, I've got the binding on the sleeve armholes as well. So I'm really pleased that I'm really pleased that I've got that finished as well, because that will be an extra little bonus top that I can take with me on holiday, and I think that will pair really well with a couple of pairs of my sort of plain colour shorts, because there's so many nice colours in here. Yeah, it will go with lots of different things. So that is they are the things that I got finished this week. And so following on from that, what's next? So as I mentioned, my holiday is coming up, so I think we're going about 3 weeks time now. So really what I'm going to be sewing between now and when we go is kind of stuff that I want to take on holiday. So I do have a few plans. I might be a little bit ambitious with some of them, so it just depends on how I get on. And I have a couple of sort of things on at weekends as well, so I'm not going to have huge amounts of sewing time, but I'm going to see how much of it I can get done. I think tomorrow I might spend a little bit of time cutting some things out so that when I am ready to sew, or I have, you know, I have moments where I can sew, then they'll be all ready to go and I can just kind of crack on and get them sewn. So I think I've probably talked about some of these in last week's vlog, but just to recap, one of the things actually I want to do, recently I made this jumpsuit, which is a Tate romper from Small Museum. This very much had, it was kind of like a Marmite sort of garment, so I think a lot of people either really loved it or really didn't like it. So to be honest, I mean I love it, but I don't think this sort of narrow band across the front particularly suited me, and it kind of made it look like I pulled my trousers right up under my boobs, and it didn't feel that flattering to me. So in my mind I've always had sort of a thought where I want to change the top out for something else, and so I managed to find a remnant of the same fabric from a little place called Haberdashery. I think they're based in sort of the west of Wales, near Aberystwyth, somewhere around near there, I think. Can't remember exactly, but I had a little look. I was googling online to see what shops were still stocking this fabric, and this popped up and it said that it was still in stock. When I had a look, it was, and it's a remnant of 1.4 meters, which is absolutely perfect for amount for what I'm planning to do. So I'm actually planning to make another Ashton top. They do come together quite quickly, as you saw with me sharing this one that I've just kind of whipped up very quickly this week. So they come together very quickly. So my plan is I'm going to cut out another Ashton top in this, and then I'm actually going to just cut off the bodice of the jumpsuit. I don't need to unpick it because I'm taking the top off completely, and it doesn't matter if I lose a little bit of the sort of seam allowance on that part, because I'm probably going to have to reduce it a little bit down anyway for this to fit on. So my plan is to make a Ashton top. I may have to taper it in at the side slightly, and then it crossed my mind today when I was talking to my mum about it, that I actually I'm going to need to insert a zip on it, because it suddenly dawned on me that if I don't put a zip in, there's no way to get in and out of it. So yeah, that hadn't actually crossed my mind for some reason, and then I realised today. So I was kind of trying to decide whether I should put the zip on the back or on the side, and to be honest, I think it will be easier to put it on the side seam. It'll be easier for me to get access to it, so the zip will kind of just sit up under the arm. So I think that's what I'm going to have to do. It's a little bit of a pain because there's obviously a little bit more work, but I'm hoping that will kind of work once I've once I've done that. So I think I'll probably leave one of the side seams open, and then I will attach it actually just so this actually already has a zip there in place. I think I'm going to have to unpick that side zip anyway, so I'll probably just reuse the same zip that is in it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with that. Hopefully I'll get a chance to get that all done, and then I've got a couple of pairs of shorts that I want to take on holiday with me that are quite sort of colourful. They've got sort of pattern in them, and I don't have that many kind of plain tops to go with them. So I bought some jersey this week from Pound Fabrics, and they're actually really good quality. They're just plain cotton jerseys. I just bought 1 meter of each of them. So I've got this colour here, which I know will pick out colour in some of my shorts, so that's a really lovely kind of turquoisey colour. I've got a nice bright yellow. It's probably slightly more of an orangey yellow than I was hoping it would be, but I think it will still definitely go well with my shorts. And then I got a plain white. So these have already all been washed, and they're ready to go, so I might try and cut those out tomorrow. But what I'm planning on doing is another, I'm going to make the, oh, what's it called? My mind's gone completely blank. Hold on, it's the test tee, sorry. My mind went completely blank then trying to remember the name of it. But I think I've made about 3 of the test tees now, and I really like how they look and fit, so I think I'm just going to make that with them, the slightly cropped version, and just with those plain sort of colours, because I think they'll go really nicely with some of my shorts. I did also pick up this as well. I'd had my eye on this for a while, Pound Fabrics. I'd never really bought it, but I thought while I'm making an order I will also purchase this. So this is actually they call it a lightweight denim. So you can see it looks very denim like, but it's very lightweight, and I haven't washed this piece yet. I've just got 2 meters of this, and I think it's called 4 ounce lightweight denim on their website. Comes in 3 colours, a light blue, a mid blue and a dark blue. This is actually the mid blue, and my plans for this is to make another pair of the Winnie trousers. So I'm going to try and get those done to take on holiday with me, because I think a nice sort of plain pair of sort of easy to wear, sort of comfortable trousers will be perfect, and they'll go with lots of different sort of tops and things then. So I just need to get that through the wash. I think it will dry fairly quickly because it's a very lightweight fabric, so I'm going to put that through the wash. And then my other plans for holiday are, as I've mentioned, I'd like to try and get the Avenir jumpsuit done in this kind of like cotton, lightweight kind of cotton fabric. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get all of this stuff done, but I'm going to prioritise the t-shirts, the Winnie trousers, obviously try and get this done as well, and then if I can get the other bits done as well. I'm not going to put like massive pressure on myself to try and frantically get them all done, so it's just going to be a case of seeing how much I can get done in the 3 weeks. But I'm a fairly fast sewer, so it may be doable. And obviously I mentioned this before, I've got this kind of crochet fabric. I don't really want to let this roll over to next year, so I'm hoping to just get a nice easy kind of probably naivety and a pair of shorts in this as a little cover up. And then I have this viscose linen, which is just a plain black. I bought this when I went to Barry's Fabrics in Birmingham, and I bought 4 meters of this because it was reduced. It was 50% off, and it's really nice quality and lightweight. And I'm hoping that I might also be able to get another pair of Winnies cut out in this, because I think they will be quite a staple. I know I've got a pair of plain black lame pants, and I'm just thinking that a nice plain black pair of Winnie trousers will also be quite useful. Now these aren't a necessity for the holiday, so if I don't get these finished, that's not going to be too much of an issue. And the same goes for the Avenir jumpsuit. If I don't get that done, it's not the end of the world. I do have 2 other Avenir jumpsuits, so if the worst comes to the worst, I can just take one of those with me instead. But what I may do, and this is because I saw Julie from Julie Sews Her Own Clothes, she was doing it this week. She was kind of deciding what she was going to be packing and taking with her, so I was thinking I might actually do a little bit of that, possibly a bit nearer to the time. Maybe talk through my sort of thought process and the things that I'm thinking about taking. We're only going for a week. I do try not to overpack, but I do end up always taking a couple of extra things because you never know any eventuality. So sometimes I do have kind of 1 or 2 extra items that don't get worn, but I do try and keep it down as much as I can. So yeah, I thought you might want to see that maybe a little bit nearer the time. I find packing for a holiday actually very stressful, and I think it's because I kind of want to make sure I've got the right things, I'm taking the right things with me, and things that will kind of maybe go together, that I can kind of mix and match a little bit, and I'm not kind of left short and not have enough things. So I just find it very stressful, so I tend to start my packing about a week before I'm going, and that way I can kind of think about what I want to put in there. Sometimes I'll take things out, put other things in and swap things around, but it just gives me that time so that I'm not getting myself too stressed, you know, doing it the day before or anything like that. So yeah, they're pretty much everything that I want to sort of get done. So I'm going to get that washed ASAP, and then tomorrow I might try and cut out the winnies and the t-shirts, and then if time allows, I might even try and get something else cut out, or I may make a start on that. But I also need to finish my hope, so there's quite a lot of things going on, but we'll just see what takes my fancy and how I get on. And then once I'm back from my holiday, I will then be full on thinking about autumn makes, I think. So it kind of feels a little bit weird still making summer stuff at the moment, because our weather here in the UK has started to turn a little bit. I've noticed first thing in the morning it's very cold. It's a lot colder than it has been, and I've noticing a little bit more of a chill in the air, so it does feel a bit funny still making sort of summery stuff. So I have actually started thinking about autumn wear already, but I haven't quite got to the point where, you know, I'm at the stage of making autumnal garments, purely because I've got my holiday coming up. So and then one other little thing I made this week is something that I got as a little gift from a Secret Santa gift from my work. So it was at Christmas, but it was this little sorry if the light's going to shine on it. It's a little luggage tag. Now the tag isn't in there because I'm going to show you in a minute, but I did actually stitch it up this week. So this is it's actually a nice little leather luggage tag. I'm probably not going to put it on my suitcase because I think it will probably go missing. But it's from this little company called Chasing Threads. I had a look on their website. They've got some really nice different things. So I will pop their details down below in case that's something you're interested in. Now the luggage tag came with, ignore the darker thread here, but the luggage tag actually came with a very pale kind of minty, sort of minty green colour, and then a gold thread. And I think the idea is that you kind of stitch your initials in the gold, and then you do like this little bit around it as well. And I thought those colours aren't really me. I'm much more of a bolder, I like a bit of a bolder colour. So I had a look through, I've got a few sort of embroidery threads and things. I had a look through and I decided on a nice teal colour, which is what you saw in there. And I actually just did this last night and kind of finished it. So here is the finished tag. So it's kind of like a cross stitch. So I've just stitched my initials onto it, and it took a few minutes for me to work out exactly where I wanted to place it, because I wanted it slap bang in the middle, and I wanted to make sure that there was the same amount, you know, free either side and top and bottom. But that is the little luggage tag. It's a really nice leather, actually, this sort of pale pink, and I think it just, the sort of darker colour I think just looks nice. So I just kept it very simple and just did my initials, and then inside you've got like a little bit, I don't know if I can open it properly, but you've got a little bit inside that you can just, you know, slip your details into if you want to. But I'll probably just put it onto my hand luggage that I'm taking on the plane. But I just thought that was really cute, and it was really thoughtful of my colleague to purchase that, knowing that I sew. So yeah, I got that done last night. And one last thing I just wanted to talk about is I made a little item for my sister for her birthday. So my sister actually turns 40 on Monday, so it was a little bit of a special birthday, and so I wanted to make a little something. So I actually bought a punch needle kit, and I made her a little punch needle sort of kit. I don't actually have it here to share with me because I've gifted it to her today. She loved it, but I will pop in a couple of pictures of it here. So her name's Laura, so on the item you'll see that it's got her initial, and then the rest of it is done in an animal print. I've not done very much punch needle. In fact, this is only the second kit I've done, so I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and she was absolutely delighted with it when she opened it today. So I just thought I would share that. I actually bought the kit from, I got mine from Dunelm, which is kind of like a predominantly furniture store, but they do have some kind of fabrics and stuff in there, mainly for furnishings. And I managed to get this little kit in there as well. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that in case it's something anyone is interested in. But I really enjoyed making it for her, and she really loved it when she opened it today, so that was really nice. So I'm gonna head off here and get this vlog edited and uploaded, ready for you to view it from tomorrow. So I hope you have a good week, you get some good sewing in, and I shall catch up with you again in my next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall catch up with you again soon. Bye for now.